Grass is thick. Catching something. Oh yeah, we can ride wheelies now. Wheelie bar down. Oh man, these shocks in the front. Everything is just so much better right now. I feel so much better control than what I had earlier. Like even these turns. Lost it over there. Those back ones ain't done either. So thick down there. That grass is just too much for this truck. Even with the wheelie bar, you can still go too much. Just trying to smash it. So when you smash it, you gotta take it easy. You can't really just floor it. This does handle so much better with those lower shocks in the front and just stiffer. Whoa.
I'm not.
And be careful turning it when it's going really fast. Slow it down. Slow it down. I just said slow it down. That's why I was telling you, because I knew you were going to turn the wheel. You can't cut it that fast when you're turning. Just not, I mean, you can cut it, just not too fast. Slow. You can't slam the brake though. Yeah, but you slammed the brake and cartwheeled it. You can't do that. Yeah, I mean, it's a power it's got.
Did I have one of these trucks?
No time soon. Not with you about to smash into the curb and doing that. See, now you gotta go get it.
I want to see what happens when you break it.
You just you're trying to drive it like your truck, but it's got so much more speed when you're pushing that trigger, and that trigger is that much more sensitive.
I want one of those trucks.
You're too fast for you, buddy. You get caught up on yours and show me.
I like something that goes fast.
No, this is too fast for you though. This truck on 2S maybe.
Truck on 2S?
A different, like the battery you have right now. Alright, second run review. I mean, it's same thing. I had this bite me once, nothing big. Again, I mean, it wasn't at the same area, so I mean, I tried to find a couple exciting areas where I would take this at. Just didn't seem to match up to the bashing of earlier, but I mean, I flipped it a bunch of times. So you definitely want to do the Gorilla Tape. But more, the biggest thing I noticed was, like, I didn't even think about the shocks at first until I saw the way it turned. And the way it handled, like on the turns and things, the leaning in, it reminded me a lot of the Terramoto 10, which again is similar, the exact shocks I used for the Terramoto 10 upgrade, but it just lowered them that little bit I showed on the other video, and it made it so much more like balanced. And again, I don't have them in the rear right now, but I did put the damper, you know, the little spacer thing on the rear from the fronts, and there's more. I'll open them up if I want more, but it helped out a little bit for the rear. Wheelie bar being lowered is a huge plus. Definitely made it so much more manageable as far as you know, riding wheelies and having fun that way. But I mean, nothing broke. I mean, that's run number 2, and I didn't have any issue. Didn't hit any big stones, but 2 runs down, just a shock in. But like I said, you know, size differences. I had to replace both of them. Topsaw scuffed up. I mean, pretty hard to keep this thing off the roof. I mean, it's just at that 9-tooth pinion, it's just so much torque on 3S. So I'll definitely be going up to 12. I mean, again, I don't want to do it right now because I still want to drive it a little bit with these tires on it. I've already got them dirty. And I do like these tires for off-road. They're still soft, but they're fine. There's not too much power in this right now at a 9-tooth. It's a lot of torque. Once I crank it up to about a 12, I could gain about another 9 to 10 miles an hour, depending, you know, it's a direct drive. It might even be a little bit more. But I'm going to get probably closer to 50, and these tires are going to be no good. So when I do the one, I got to do the other, and I'm just not ready to do that yet. It's kind of new. I'm going to bash it up a little bit and hope that the aluminum comes for it soon enough so we can start replacing some of these parts I break with aluminum, which I kind of did today with the shocks. They are aluminum body shocks, so it's kind of what I did there. But if an arm were to break right now, I wouldn't be able to do anything about it as far as aluminum goes. But this truck, put it this way, I love the blackout. When I got the blackout, it was, from the trigger pull on, it was just one of the best trucks I had for that price range. I had Traxxas, had other vehicles, but that was for this price range of $200 that the blackout was just, incredible. Then I grew to, pick out its flaws and things like that, things that I didn't like about it, and they all kind of outweighed it. Now this truck, it's kind of hard to, judge it after one full day, but I have bashed this way harder than I bashed my other truck out the gate. Considering I've had 3 runs on this thing already today, 2 of them which I filmed. So it's done pretty good for 3 battery packs being already in it, and as much as it's been on its roof, and as much as I've came down and just awkward landings and backflips showing off for people, it definitely held up to my expectations, and I would say even blows me away as far as out the box compared to the Terremoto 10, compared to the blackout. Granted, it should for the price range. Disappointed with the shock, but from what I hit, I'm not mad that it broke, and it actually may have helped me speed up and get a little bit better steering out of my truck. As I see now, it pretty much did. I still got room here. It's not biting, but I'm also going to take this body up and move it back eventually. I might even do it to this one since it's a bash body, and just I think it really needs to be right almost to where the end of these holes are, and I might not be able to do it. So either way, I'm going to get another body and get that back off of that a little bit so I stop buckling. But if you don't have Gorilla Tape on your truck, and that constantly happens, you're going to wind up splitting something. Right now, it's giving that flex, like I can peel this thing back. I mean, it's got the durability, but it even sounds better. So alright, man, 2 runs down. Third one, I ran about 15 minutes showing it off to a couple buddies of mine. Didn't do anything jumping, bashing it wise. A couple flips, couple lands on the roofs, things like that. So, but it's held up. I mean, I haven't really had any complaints about it about anywhere other than that pinion, which I understand why they do it. For the 2S people, and give you some torque to ride through grass and not have the motor burn up. So once we get that resolved, get these tires switched out, get the pinion up, eventually it's going to be a very solid truck, especially when some of these upgrades start coming out that allow us to, because Team Magic, and the Team Redcat BE6S and all them, the upgrades that they put out, there are nice upgrades. So I'm just looking forward to maybe not all aluminum A-arms or anything things like that, but definitely the knuckles, just to strengthen where the knuckles mount. We'll see what some of the other upgrades are, and if an upper arm, I don't mind my upper arms being aluminum, one or the other, just in case. But it's kind of hard. I mean, upper arms rip off the top. They're going to rip off like somewhere up in the body mount area, a little bit easier to repair, whereas the bottom ones rip off and they tear the chassis. You're basically rebuilding your truck on your, for the chassis. But I think this one's actually got some protection. It's not going to rip the chassis up. It's in the hinge pin here. Hopefully it'll just snap the arm itself, so it shouldn't rip out of the chassis. But the chassis is there, so I mean, it does seem like that's pretty thick and reinforced in there. I mean, once you see it in person, you'll know what I mean. But waiting for some skids. I mean, I'm going to tear these screws up. That's one thing. The aluminum's just not here yet. I mean, I'm already scraping some of this stuff up, and she's kind of tore up. I mean, a lot of that was the shocks earlier busting out and me graveling, hitting the gravel, and I mean, I'm sure that had a lot to do with it. But all right, well, we'll keep an eye on it and see what it looks like over time. fun truck.